boy.
Don't give me that crap!
Seeing Dak curse and his little player, yeah, it's the best. All right, it's time for another round of Real Talk, BS, Real Talk. First up, the Sixers' on-court chemistry between Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid has been a discussion point all season. Both played well in last night's All-Star game, some fun moments even going against each other. And here's Simmons on the subject from Saturday's Media Day.
I mean, it takes time. Not everything is supposed to be perfect. Not everything works straight away. You know, we're two different people trying to figure it out. So, I mean, I love playing with Joe. I think he's an amazing talent, and I got a lot of respect for his game, and I know he feels the same way about me. So as long as we continue to strive and go the right way, I think we're going to be fine.
All right, guys, Ben Simmons saying he loves playing with Joel. BS or Real Talk?
That's BS.
Ye of little faith, both of you.
I'm not rolling with that, Ben. I mean, you may like playing with Joel, but not love. I'm not buying that. Yeah, I'm not buying that at all. You tolerate Joel. Y'all tolerate each other because y'all have to. I'm not rolling.
This is two brothers. They may love each other, but do they love playing with each other? I think it's very obvious. That interview pregame with Allie LaForce last night, and Joel's talking about, well, he's asked, how do you defend Ben? And he's like, we're just going to let him shoot.
Right.
You don't say that with somebody you love playing with? I mean, are you kidding me? So I'm not buying it. I think they have a respect and a love for each other as teammates over time.
Yes.
But do they love playing with each other?
I think that's all fair. I do think the truth is kind of in the middle when it gets to them, right? Things get so blown out of proportion because they are not a natural X and O fit. And honestly, they're not similar personalities. They do, I think, like each other. I've been around them. Yeah. But they are not similar personalities. So the narrative is all the way jumped to they hate each other, they hate playing to each other, they both want the other one out of there. I don't think that's true.
I mean, there can be nuance in the NBA,
I know
Rach.
it's weird. Whereas, again, to your guys' point, maybe the all the way on the other end isn't true either. It's almost like it's in the middle. I want to move ahead to the ending of last night's All-Star game. Anthony Davis was at the line, needing 1 point for the win. Now, he missed his first attempt pretty badly. He's got a very high free throw percentage, by the way. So when he sunk the second one for the win, here's what he said after the game.
I told my team I was going to miss the first one and put a little bit more pressure on myself here at home. So I made it look good. I made the miss look good, back rim. And then, went up to the line, crowd going crazy. The team down is booing me. Trae Young coming on the floor touching my hand. And so I just wanted to make sure I put a little extra pressure on myself to knock down the second one.
Yeah, totally just wanted to put extra pressure on himself. Nick, he missed the first one on purpose. BS or Real Talk?
I mean, you already know. You already know exactly what this is.
What do you got, too? Yeah.
That's BS. Come on, AD. AD, listen, man, you know I know you, man. You didn't miss that on purpose, man. You wanted to make that, man. You're not going to sit up here and tell me the sky green and the grass blue and think I'm going to believe it.
Well, especially since all his teammates, as soon as he shot the first one, were like, oh, it's going in. LeBron was already off the blocks, and he was like, uh-oh, what?
Right.
They didn't tell anybody that he was trying to miss. Yeah. I think he was trying to believe the tale over time, because he went and said the same thing to Ramona on the radio a few minutes later.
I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that was sarcasm on his point.
Oh, right.
Sarcasm twice.
I'm just saying, because clearly it's not true. Next up, AD's teammate DeMarcus Cousins has set out all season with an ACL tear, but listen to what Frank Vogel said this weekend.
He's on track to get healthy by the playoffs, and we'll have to see, where he's at with rhythm and conditioning and timing and all that stuff. But there's a possibility he returns this season, yes.
All right. Frank Vogel saying it is possible DeMarcus Cousins may play and return for them in the playoffs. BS or Real Talk?
That's Real Talk.
Really?
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
For the simple fact that I had an ACL injury, and I know it only take 5 to 6 months, and I went to the Lakers game, seen Boogie working out, he looked good, and it's not if he's going to come back, it's when he come back, what role is he's going to play. So I think it's Real Talk that he comes back. Now, if he plays, that's the question.
Right.
Whether or not it's BS or Real Talk.
And we just watched this. We all did last year. He fought through injury after injury in the playoffs to go back into the finals with the Warriors.
By the way, they needed him. There was a finals game the Warriors won that they would not have won without Boogie Cousins.
Absolutely.
But it's a different dynamic with the Lakers, and I guess my question is, the Lakers are stacked with bigs. If everyone stays healthy, where does he fit in? And one thing that was delicate with the Warriors at the end of last season was they were trying to integrate him back, and Boogie sees himself, of course, as a starter. I mean, he's been a multi-time All-Star.
Right.
Right? So I assume that he would have, I mean, he's been great with that team so far with the Lakers, and I assume he'd have a team first sort of ethic about it, but you still feel that you're someone who should play, right?
Absolutely.
What if he's healthy and available but doesn't play?
Yeah, but I mean, that's when, Coach Vogel, Coach Jay Kidd got to come in and be honest with him. The one thing about it is that you have a veteran championship culture locker room that's going to, tell they honest with each other. So, I think Boogie, sometimes you have reality checks, and I think he knows his role, and I think he knows if he come back, he's basically going to be an insurance policy, in my opinion.
Well, look, I mean, he has worked and worked and worked. To your point, he had a huge major injury, played a little bit, got injured again, worked his way back in time to make it for the finals. As soon as this injury happened in Las Vegas over the summer, he has worked and worked.
Yeah.
And he has been with that team. As I said, he's already a real part of their locker room chemistry, so we'll see what happens.
I will say this, though, Rach. He's still a walking double-double, though. I'm not going to discredit him.
No, I mean, it's just too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, as Frank Vogel says, is never the worst problem to have, so we'll see. Up next, I want to talk about Chris Paul because, man, he played great last night. He is going to sit down with our Maria Taylor to talk about how he's been able to refresh his career in year 15. First, though, time for our second distant replay of the day. This one is from this date in 2009 from a former dunk contest participant. Take a look. Oh, hello, Shannon Brown.
Fell asleep there. Brown gives it.
Oh, give me that. You know what that is? Rachel, I know what's going on the jump today. We represent class of 2003. Mickey D's class, my boy Shannon Brown. Let me get that.
Wow.
Look at that.
2003.
Miles Bridges won the Rising Stars Challenge MVP. Now, Bridges tweeted at halftime what ended up as a precursor to what he was going to do in the second half, leading a furious Team USA comeback. So, Nick, has the NBA had this wrong? Should we have been allowing halftime tweets this whole time?
Hell yes. Tell me why, Rach. Tell me why not. Tell me why shouldn't guys go to their phone? Because it's going to be, oh, you're terrible, you can't do it. It'll motivate them coming out into the second half.
By the way, guys go to their phones anyway.
Anyway, anyway.
They just
But
didn't
if
want
you
to have
can
that
tweet,
public interaction.
if you can go back and forth, if you go at some random fan somewhere,
It's good.
that is a good thing.
I agree.
Can you imagine if you gave Joel Embiid the allowance to tweet during the game?
I'm about to go out here and kill third quarter.
Right?
That's for that dude in Omaha who was giving me some stuff.
There you go. Welcome back. So before CP3's throwback performance helping Team LeBron win the All-Star game, he sat down with our Maria Taylor to talk about the revitalization of his career, what it was like being traded to the Thunder, and the first half of the season with OKC. Take a listen.
What a shot from Chris Paul. Take that step back, and it goes. Is he not remarkable? Chris Paul, are you kidding me?
Congratulations on your 10th All-Star.
Thank you.
How does it feel different from the first 9?
It's a lot different. Probably because it's been a while, but always grateful for even the opportunity to be here.
Describe where you are on the evolution of your career.
I'm sort of like refreshed, actually. I was having an amazing time out in LA, and that first year in Houston was unbelievable. It was just a different way of playing, but the ultimate goal was to win a championship. But in that time, had that terrible injury, being injured, you can lose confidence, all this different type of stuff going through your head, you know what I mean? But it's been refreshing being in Oklahoma, and the biggest thing too is being healthy.
Take me back to the moment you found out you were getting traded to Oklahoma.
It's crazy when the trade happened, basketball-wise, I wasn't tripping. I was just mad that, my family, that whole situation. But I was already putting the work in for right now. So when the trade happened, it was like, all right, that's cool. I'm working.
Describe what that's been like for you, because I know how close you are with your family and having to do this away from them in Oklahoma City.
It's been tough. It's been tough, but I can see the positives and the negatives. You know what I mean? I think one of the positives is that it's really allowed me to hone in on my body and my time and doing all that different type stuff. But that's still not my normal. After games, I'm used to seeing my kids, seeing my wife, and spending that time with them. So, this season is what it is. We're gonna keep riding it out, we keep figuring it out, but I'm having a lot of fun.
CP is showing us that he's the best leader in basketball.
I actually picked the Oklahoma City Thunder to make the playoffs. You can never count out Chris Paul.
Oklahoma City sitting 6th in the West, 33 wins going into All-Star break. And if you talk to some of the experts beforehand, no one would have believed you guys would be here. What did you expect from this team when the season started?
I expected our record to be better. I think we started off like 6-11.
What was the turning point then? Or what changed, what clicked?
We just started playing better. I think through those sort of trials earlier in the season when we were losing those closer games, we were learning. Now when we get into all these close games, we expect to win, and we sort of know what we're gonna do. So to have 33 wins, you can't go back. We're happy where we are, and we're gonna keep growing.
Thank you, Maria and Chris. We're going to have more interviews from All-Star Weekend all week on The Jump. Tomorrow you can hear my sit-down with Dwayne Wade. All right, guys, the modified format of last year's All-Star Game produced one of the most competitive, exciting games in years. After the game, Giannis explained his team's offensive strategy in the intense fourth quarter. Here's what he said.
Offensively, we were just trying to, find whoever, James Harden was guarding. That's who we thought we were going to have an opportunity to score on. And obviously, you cannot go wrong. Kemba, Kyle, Joel, me, Siakam, everybody's great players. Whoever has the ball, he's going to make a play for, the guy next to him, and it's going to be good because, we all have great players.
By the way, I want to add a quick great note. Giannis just tweeting that Team Giannis is going to collectively donate an additional $100,000 to his team's charity, which is After School Matters, right? Beautiful. So remember, in the third quarter of the game, there was that $100,000 that was on the line.
Why didn't they just split it? Why didn't the league just split that?
Well, again, maybe it's just, to have skin in the game, so they rolled it over to the fourth quarter, and he is saying, well, we're going to then take it on and donate. I want to stress, by the way, a lot of people very concerned about the kids being there. They got a lot. Both charities got a lot of money. It's not like the NBA sent anyone home with, like, a piece of paper and a paper clip. Well, I was trying to figure out what they'd be sending them home with. Maybe this, maybe a sign, I don't know. They sent them home with hundreds of thousands of dollars. So in that platform, it was fun to see some competition with
and
the
they got to meet the players.
They got to meet the players. They had a great night.
Yeah.
And a really, by the way, statement of the NBA for the whole weekend. I want to stress, the league had more than 40 community events. Players are visiting hospitals. They're doing these NBA care projects that you saw one Barack Obama come up and be involved in. This is an intrinsic part of who the NBA is, the NBA Cares arm of the league, and the fact that it was instituted right and baked into the All-Star Game, I love, because it put that front and center, and it's such an important mandate for the league. All right, this just in at the buzzer. Kyrie Irving replacing Pau Gasol as a vice president of the Players Association. Gasol's 3-year term expired. Perk, what is your reaction there?
What?
What do you mean, what?
What? Who?
You remember Kyrie Irving?
Oh, I'm so glad I'm retired. I'm glad I done started I'm so glad I'm out the league. That's all I got to say. Because I'm telling you, that's the blind leading the blind.
Kendrick.
No, I'm saying, I'm glad.
Kyrie Irving is a smart guy.
Very smart. Does he have the respect of the players behind him?
Well, he won a vote, so apparently, yes. Thanks to these guys, we're all going to be back tomorrow. So we'll just continue that discussion then.